Hello everybody, John here, and today onto the garage I'm doing a test on something I am genuinely quite excited about, and that is a little gadget from our friends at TOPDON, and this is the Jumpsurge JS1200. Now this little gadget could be part of the solution to one of the biggest worries about owning and running an X100 Jaguar on a regular basis, and that is they are so sensitive to a poor battery that they are going to give you electrical gremlins, they give you all sorts of starting issues as soon as this battery is anything other than in peak condition. And sure, you could cart around a spare battery with you, you could cart around some jump leads and hope that you find somebody else who's willing to help you out. You could use a large power bank, the sort of things that are used for motorhomes, and keep that in the car, so you've always got a way of getting us started and recharging a battery. But realistically, none of us want to be hassled with any of that. We just want to know that everything works. And number one in that is put a good battery in and keep it in good condition and replace it after 3 to 5 years. Keep your car on a charging tender, on a trickle charger when possible, so that this stays in good condition. But then the last stage is have yourself something that will get you out of trouble. And this is what I'm hoping is going to be my fix. Now, the people from TOPDON, as you know, have given me some stuff to test previously. And this, like those previous things, is something that they've given to me free of charge. But I've got to say that they have got zero influence on what I say or do with it. So thank you very much to them. And from this point on, this is me. They have not paid me, and I will not say what I don't want to say. So I want to do a little test on this. And I've seen quite a few videos testing this device, and they've all been very complimentary, I have to say. But I've also noticed they're all a little bit lab. Perfect conditions and everything's worked perfectly. So I've been sitting on this, so to speak, for quite some while so that I can share with you the reality of using it. So what is it? It's a power bank battery that you can recharge from your cigarette lighter or from the mains at home using a DC input, using a USB-C, and it can be used to charge up your mobile phone, your computer, all sorts of bits and pieces, because it has, under a nice rubber cover, it has two standard USBs sockets here. One's 2 amp, one is a quick charge, I think 3 amp unit, and this is a socket for jumping your car. There's also a 15 volt DC out on the side there. Another little rubber hatch is where you plug it in to charge it. And you see that's USB-C, which is good. It's the modern way. And on the end, we have a torch. And it's a very good torch. I've been playing with it in the dark. Press the button, hold it for a second or two. There's only one button on this unit. And she lights up. You press it again, you get a strobe. Press it again, you get an SOS signal. Press it again, it's back off. There's a little display there that tells you, because I've pressed the button, how much charge is in the unit. And that's the first part of my test, is that says full. I have had this for 5 weeks, I think, and I charged it up on the day I had it. Since then, I have left it outside, admittedly in my garage, so that it gets really cold. When it's not been outside in the garage, it's been in the back of my van that I use for work, and the temperature in the UK has been very low for the last few weeks. So this has been close to being frozen, if not well below zero, on several occasions. And not only does low temperature affect your car battery, it affects these sorts of things as well. If you're an electric car driver, you'll know that cold temperatures reduce battery range. So this is quite a realistic time to be testing this. So it's been charged 5 weeks ago, and since then has been sat at or below 0 almost consistently. Also in the pack, nice pouch, USB-C charging cable to the standard larger USB, and a pair of what I'm now coming to appreciate are pretty much TOPDON standard grips, very high quality. We discussed them before. Not too big, but very strong, excellently constructed from an electrical contact point of view. And this chunky little unit on the end. And this unit on the end has a couple of LEDs on it. Red one, and that, it warns you that you've connected your battery the wrong way around. So if you put the leads on the wrong terminals, it goes red and won't let you do any harm. There's a green light that should come on and stay constant if everything's ready to start. If it flashes, that means your battery in your vehicle is so low it may not start it, and there's a boost button which essentially allows even more current to flow. And this just plugs into the end of your unit like so. So you're ready to go. The whole thing's pretty compact. It legitimately goes in the glove box of my XK8 and my T5 van, so that's great. There are some instructions. They're pretty basic, but you don't need an awful lot more. And in terms of tech spec, the 1200 is 1200 amp. That's the, I'll read off the back, peak current is 1200 amp. Its capacity is 10,000 milliamp hours. Input is 5 volt, 3 amp, or 9 volt, 2 amp. USB outputs 18 watts, 5 volt, 3 amp, 9 volt, 2 amp, and 12 volt, 1.5 amp. And USB 2, separate one, is 5 volt at 2 amp. There's a DC port which outputs 16.8 volts at 10 amps. Now, in terms of doing a test, ideally, because you're all Jaguar fans, I'd be doing a jump start of the dead battery on Purdy. But that is Purdy's spare battery, which is an old known good one. The car pretty much lives on a tender in the garage, so there is nothing wrong with the battery, so we're going to learn nothing. However, check out the weather out there. There's my T5. Now that lives outside. Plus, I do have a spare battery for my T5 that I took off because it was in poor condition. What's more, I've been running it down a couple of hours every time I come into the garage. I've just put it on again for one last discharge, if you like, charging my big Ernbauer light. So if I disconnect this, turn that off, we can have a look at the condition of this battery. Excuse the shaky camera work. Gloves working on own, no tripod. Okay, what we at? 11.6 volts. And to be fair, once the battery gets below 12, they don't drop too much more until they're just dead. I know this to be on the edge. I also know my van is a commercial diesel, high compression, and that is not going to start it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of a switch and put that on my van, which is not started in 48 hours. So there's no warmth to the engine, and see how we get on. Got some tools. Let's just take you outside. There's no way of faking this. You can see what the weather's like. Look at the state of our poor old bath. So the temperature at the moment, when I got up and came out here, was about -5. It has started to climb a little. We're maybe closer to 0, as you can see by the screen starting to melt off a bit. That could be just, you know, sunlight, but just give you a view of what Lincolnshire looks like on a cold morning. What you've got in front of you is a uninterrupted view for 7 miles. However, frost and freezing fog, occasional things dropping are not snow, that's ice dropping off the power lines. And check that out if you want any evidence. So I'm going to take this perfectly good battery off. 10mm. Earth lead first. Why? Exactly because of what that's happened there. Look, I'm touching the earth and I've made contact with the bodywork with a spanner. Doesn't matter on the earth. That's the main reason for disconnecting earth first. If I did that on the positive, I could short the battery, fuses go, all sorts of things. So always disconnect earth first. There are such a thing as a positive earthed vehicle, but they're few and far between, tend to be quite old machines, quite rare machines. So I'm not going to worry about that. One off. At this stage, if I touched the spanner to the bodywork, it wouldn't matter because the battery is not really connected. There we go. Oh, splash me head. I could do this experiment just leaving the battery in place and using jump leads to connect the other battery, but there'll be people out there think I'm cheating, so let's do this properly and as quickly as I can. I'm really cold. And before I do anything else, oh, God, let's just prove what's going on with the voltage, in case you think I've switched batteries on you. I am not that devious, but some people might think I might be. So here we go, check your recording, yeah. Negative, positive, oh, can't see. Why is that not? Oh, it is displaying just dim. Okay, it says 11.68. See if I can make that nice and clear for you guys or not. I'm not sure if you can see the LCD display in this. 11.68 anyway, it's cold, that's why it's dark. And in 1, 2, 3, go. Just turned on my mobile phone camera. Just so I don't have to turn that camera off. And we'll go inside the van and see what happens. Yeah. Oh, wrong key. There you go, that's the right key. There we go. Try again. Hope you could hear that. It's going nowhere. Okay. Okay, so we're back with the unit. What I'm going to do now, we're already connected up at the top. Just press this. Shows it's still got juice in it. It says 100%. How close we don't know. Let's put our positive lead on there. Ooh, cold hands. Negative lead on there. And this is saying reverse. Disconnect that. Patently isn't reversed. But in fairness, the little red light, is it on? It's one of those LEDs that persists somewhat. So still on now, I think. Red. Oh, black. Oh. Okay. Right. This is where I've done wrong. I've not pressed the button on there. It's now immediately gone green, which means it's connected. So that was all down to me not turning it on. Duh. Let me start up this again, just so you know, not doing anything suspicious. Video. You're going to see this warped and all, including my faux pas. Background here. And wait for the glow plug to go off, and there we go. Started. So that is a very dead battery, and that has started it. And this is, as we said, it's a commercial diesel engine. It's only a 1.9, but certainly harder to start than my Jag is. And this unit is rated for 4 litre diesel or 6 litre petrol. It's time to disconnect in my head. So, will it run at all? Should do, diesel. Then disconnect that one. And then that one. And that's a successful jump start. Just feeling the unit through my gloves, it's not warm. Just going to do something daft, hold on. No, it's not warm. Touched it to my face. Press that again. And we're at 75%. So that could probably have another crack at starting it. been pretty successful. I'm going to switch the batteries back now. So, all goes in its little pouch. Let's take that little pouch round and just show you relative size. Not the most generous glove box in the world in the X100, but oops, goes in there, all shuts up nicely, and obviously it's going to fit easily in my T5 van. Well, as I hoped I would be, genuinely impressed with the TOPDON Jumpsurge JS1200. That's the box where it came in. I've been looking for something like that for a while. Again, TOPDON just sorted me out, so very, very grateful to them. But they have not paid me in any way, so I am saying what I feel. And what I feel is this is a great piece of kit. It did exactly what I wanted it to do. It has got the endurance for you to charge it up and leave it. No, I haven't tested it if I leave it in the glove box for a year, but obviously that would take a year to test. But in the cold, not immediately charged, not permanently on charging a cigarette lighter, all that sort of stuff. Yep, very flat battery. On a very cold day, would it start a commercial vehicle? Yep. Does it fit in the glove box of an XK8 and a T5? Yep. And possibly the most important for all of us, no, I didn't have to pay for this. I'm a very lucky boy. But if I had, they are not expensive. I'll put a link in the description below, because if I quote a price, I'll be wrong immediately. But check it out. There is a larger version called the Jumpsurge 2000. If you've got even bigger commercial motors, then maybe you go for that. But I can't see a reason for something that's occasional, get you out of trouble use, for having much bigger than that. Maybe if you were going to use it as a power bank to run a laptop or something like that, and it, you know, was regularly how you were going to use it, then the bigger capacity would be really useful. But really can't see it myself. I think this is great, and yeah, check it out. It's quite a nice addition to your collection of toys for your Jag or any other vehicle for that matter. If you've enjoyed this video, then please subscribe. That way you've got it in your favourites as a channel. If you click the little bell icon, then you'll get notifications from YouTube that are going to tell you when the next videos are out. Lots of stuff on the XK8, XKR, X100 in the pipeline. And just to give you a little bit of a clue, at the moment, that is the handle for my glove box. So I think you can tell where the next secrets video is going. The glove box door is actually quite a difficult thing to disassemble, and I'm going to show you how to do that, how it all works, and how to fix the glove box lock and handle. When it's a bit warmer, because I'm going indoors now to go and have myself a coffee. So see you all soon. Bye.